I told you guys would be back in 20 seconds if you just clicked on the next video. I mean, it wasn't that difficult. But what is good, everyone? But what is good, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the We Sport Podcast. As us three are going to sit here and tell you the best tight ends, and you're probably wondering, tight ends aren't cool. Well, they're cool in our minds. They're not. Anyway, so today's episode, we're going to be sitting here. We're going to be going over the top 5 tight ends today. Want to make sure all my boys can hear me. You guys can hear me perfectly fine, correct?
Yes, sir.
And here we go. Now, we're going to be going over the top 5 tight ends that NFL teams should look into drafting. If you don't want to draft them, that's cool. Don't even listen to us. But if you want to, that's cool too. Now, we're going to get it started today. I'm going to go first, and Nick's going to go second, and then Dylan will go last. And it's going to reset counterclockwise. Who cares? I don't even know where a clock goes. But yeah. Anyways, so we're going to start off today's episode with number 5. I have Mr. Kenny Yeboah. Kenny Yeboah is from Ole Miss. He has enough talent, enough raw talent to be very good. He has good size. He has good downfield speed. Has a lot, has a really, really good hands. He's a really good red zone threat as well, and he plays and a lot of people compare him to a very good wide receiver when it comes to the red zone. Obviously, he's a tight end, but when it comes to the end zone, he's really good. He's 6'4", 250 though, so that's kind of where the lacks, but has good speed, good mobility. But the thing that he really does lack on is he lacks on blocking. He can't block very well. Obviously, that's one big thing about a tight end is if you're really good at being a tight end, you're really good at blocking and catching the ball. But that's my number 5. Who is your number 5, Mr. Nick Godinas?
My number 5 is Tony Pauljan. If you say that right, I don't know how to say his last name, but from Virginia. He is 6'7", 265 pounds.
Jesus.
He's a good tight end. He has some problems, like how you said. You have to be very, very, very good at blocking to be a tight end. He has a little struggles, but he's pretty decent at it, I would say. He had 38 receptions this season, 411 yards. He averaged 10.8%. He had 6 touchdowns, and his longest game was 28 yards. He can do a lot on the field. He can do a lot of work on the field. His 40-yard dash is a 4.89. Not that bad, I would say. Not that bad. And his vertical is a 33.5 inches.
Not bad. Like I said, being a tight end comes with a lot of responsibilities, especially
comes with a lot of responsibilities because you have to block the quarterback for maybe if you're going on a route, you have to chuck that person in because I played tight end in Pop Warner. You have to block as long as you can, and then hurry up and try and go out for that route and try to get open so you can help your quarterback with not getting sacked.
That's true. And I mean, hey, could we be seeing Nick in the 2023 draft? Who knows?
Yeah.
Too undersized to be a tight end anyways, Nick. Anyways,
I'm too short.
Dylan, who is your number 5?
So this is a toss-up between 2 tight ends. I have Trey McKitty up here, but out of Georgia, but he'll be my 6th. My number 5 is Hunter Long, tight end at Boston College. So he's not very flashy. He's not a Pitts where you're going to throw it to him on a slant. He's going to go 60 yards. What he is reliable. He's a decent blocker, and he is just that reliable tight end that you used to see in the past where you could throw him 10 yards. They always catch it, but you aren't getting much after the catch, right? He is just a reliable tight end that some young quarterback or veteran quarterback could use very well just to get those 10-yard passes, to 5-yard passes, to check downs, right? He's the classic check down tight end. His numbers aren't flashy. He's not 6'8". He doesn't run a 4.4, but he's just reliable.
Yeah. I mean,
which tight ends are great when they're like that.
Yeah, and honestly, there's a lot of tight ends who aren't very big in this draft except for Kyle Pitts, but they're serviceable. A lot of these guys are very serviceable, which makes this tight end draft class very nice and even. And yeah, that's what I like about it. My number 4 is Tommy Tremble out of Notre Dame. He's 6'4", 248. He's an NFL prototype. He's your very serviceable NFL tight end. He has a lot of upside. He's a very good blocker. And what is not so, really good about, him, he's not very true to his position. Being a
Yeah,
tight end, it comes down to if you're a good tight end and you can block, you can catch. But he's not very true to his position. You see him a lot. He'll go into the fullback, he'll block, he'll get a couple running passes in there too. But he's not very true. He plays a lot of out positions. He plays a lot of tight end, plays a lot of fullback, which fullback is a very forgotten position in the NFL. I think we all can agree to that. But Tommy Tremble is your classy, hey, if you need to throw him in there at fullback to block, hell, throw him in there.
yeah. When I looked him up, his stats were like not the best, but they were okay. He could have got a lot more receptions if he caught the ball. He hesitates. When he sees a blocker come at him, he doesn't get scared, he gets nervous. Like, he doesn't care if they will hit him. He just hesitates that he's going to mess up.
Yeah.
He can do it. If he controls that, he would be a great. My number 4 is Dylan's number 5. I have Hunter Long from Boston College. He's 6'5", 253 pounds. He had 57 receptions, 685 yards. He averaged 12. He had 5 touchdowns. His longest game was 36 yards. Like, I was agreeing with Dylan over there. He was saying a lot of you can count on him. You can very count on him. You could throw the ball, but he can't, he will catch the ball 100%, but he can't get very long. He can't get very far. And his 40-yard dash was a 4.69.
Right.
And his vertical was a 31. It was 31 on the dot. That's pretty good for a 6'5" guy, or a 6'3" guy, sorry.
Yeah, which isn't bad at all. I mean, Hunter Long is one of those tight ends. Like I said, it's serviceable. That's what this whole tight end draft class is, except for Kyle Pitts. But yeah, but moving on to number 4 with Mr. John.
My number 4, yeah. I'm gonna go Tommy Trimble here. I have the same guy at Notre Dame that Nico does. Nico did say some stuff I don't agree with. He's not a phenomenal pass catcher, but he's the best blocking tight end in this draft. He's a phenomenal run blocker. When you have Tommy Trimble in the field, you essentially have another O-lineman on the field. He's a phenomenal blocker. Some team is going to find Tommy Trimble in a late round, because who's going to go in a top 3 round and get a blocking tight end, right? He's kind of like Thaddeus Moss last year, just better. All right. So you have Tommy Trimble, and some team is like Cleveland or a run heavy team is going to get this dude in the late round, and they're going to have essentially another old lineman playing tight end.
San Francisco, Tennessee.
San Francisco, any run heavy offense is going to love him.
I know you would love him on Tennessee for sure. And I
love him. Yeah, that'd be great. I actually want Trey McKitty a lot, but I like Tommy Trimble.
All righty. And now moving on to number 3s. Mine's a little bit of a shocker. Not really, but it's kind of expected. It's Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, it's my number 3. Yeah.
That's my number 2.
In his season with Penn State this year, he was banged up last year, had a lot of shoulder issues, has a lot of big of an injury problem himself. But in his first 2 seasons, it recorded 69 passes for 875 yards and 15 touchdowns. That to me is really good for a tight end, but where it lacks is his shoulder problem. That has been a lot of people's minds when he's being, in the draft world, is his shoulder issue. Now, like I said, he obviously, from looking at those stats, guys, we all know he's a vertical threat. We all know that. And if he has shoulder issues, that is the number one thing that NFL teams are going to look for. He has the vertical threat of a tight end, 100%. Where it lacks is if you need him to block, he won't be able to do it, because he will most likely 5 times out of 10 will probably get hurt or probably have to leave the field. That is where it's going to lack for him as well. So,
teams are going to try to find players that are 100% that have gotten injured. You are going to have to push yourself to be 100%. Not push yourself, but get to 100% so you will be okay to get in the NFL. Because if some people find out that you have a hurt up shoulder, they're just going to hit that and they're going to go right by you.
100%. Mm-hmm.
The defensive line is going to demolish you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Now, Nick, let's move on to your number 3.
My number 3 is Brevin Jordan for Miami. He's 6'3", 245 pounds. Hell of a tight end. He would be. I kind of switch. I was gonna either have Pat or Jordan as my number 2. I felt like Pat would be my number 2 because he could do a lot more better. But I'll explain him when we get to number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Brevin Jordan, hell of a tight end. He didn't do so good in this season though. He had 38 receptions. He could have had a lot more and a lot more yards if he caught the ball. He hesitates, just like how I said for Hunter Long. Hesitates too much. A lot of players in college hesitate because they want to be the best. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. I mean,
yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, the thing is that in college, it's more of college is where you as a player, you can be either very dominant or very bad.
That's exactly. And he had 570 yards. He averaged 50% for like a tight end. That's actually not that bad. He had 7 touchdowns. His longest gain was 76 yards, and that's pretty good for a tight end. 76 yards for a tight end. That's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
His 40 time was a 4.65. Not that bad. He's pretty quick, and his vertical was a 31 on the dot.
Yeah, for being a 6'3", 245 tight end and running a 4.6, that's not bad. That's not really not that bad. But now we're gonna move on to Dylan's number 3. Dylan, who are you rocking with at 3?
All right, so at number 3, I have Pat as well out of Penn State. Now he is extremely physical, and I think that's why he's probably had some shoulder issues. He's an extremely physical tight end. All right, not blocking wise, but after the catch, he's extremely physical. All right, he's 260 pounds. All right. He has 12 broken tackles in the past 2 years on 66 receptions. All right. He is extremely physical. He will throw you to the ground trying to get tackled. He's not going to go down on one tackle most of the time. He's not a burner like Kyle Pitts, but he's absolutely physical. And I don't know if he's so reliable like I was talking about Hunter Long, but if he gets the ball, he's not easy to take down. Kind of like how Gronk was, not in his prime, but
say that. I was literally going to say that.
No one corner, not even one linebacker could usually take down Gronk, and that's kind of how Pat is.
Yeah, I mean,
not saying he's the next Gronk.
No, obviously not. Yeah, and a lot of these we're gonna share the same opinions, guys. So when you see it, we'll say the same thing. But now moving on to number 2, I have Brevin Jordan, and I'm gonna keep this short, sweet, and nice. He has the skill to be a number 1 tight end, where it lacks, like with a lot of these guys, is blocking. He's 6'3", 245. A lot of people think he's going to go in the 3rd round. I think he's going to be a 2nd round draft pick, and he needs to improve a little bit on the tight end blocking stuff. But to me, he's the 2nd best tight end in this draft, and that's all I'm going to say. Moving on to Nick.
Mine is Pat. That was your number 3 for you guys. I feel like he's my number 2. He has that shoulder injury, like you guys were saying. I feel like if he keeps on training, he can get that up to 100%. And like how Dylan said, I was going to say it when it was like my turn, but how I was going to say, he's not the next Gronk, but he's physical like Gronk. He has the strength. It's hard for him to get taken down.
He could be a team's Dollar Tree Gronk.
Exactly. Dollar Tree Gronk.
Love that example. Dollar Tree.
That's not even bad. I mean, you can be compared to a Hall of Famer. I mean,
for his 40-yard dash, he's a pretty quick tight end. He ran a 3.4.
Not bad at all.
He ran a 3.4 for a quarterback.
He ran a 3.4.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. 4.34. Sorry.
Oh, wait. So he ran faster than Kyle Pitts?
He ran faster than Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts' 40-yard was a 4.44.
Yeah,
was a 4.44. He said I watched YouTube videos about every single one of these players today. He says that he's been training more on the 40-yard dash than anything that he trained before. He wanted to be that challenge so he can show the coaches how hard he could push himself to get fast. And his vertical is a 28.3. Not that good. Not that good.
Okay,
that means he cannot jump.
I'll upgrade it. Walmart version of Gronk.
Well, so I think of where you're saying, and I do believe that you're talking about Mr. Pat, is on those one-on-one coverages. When you lob the ball up, can he jump over a linebacker who's
See, that's hard to tell because he can jump, but not that high. If he can get over him with his arms, I forget. I was gonna write down his wingspan, but I can't remember what it was. But it was pretty long. But if he can get up that like as high as he can and get that ball, I think he would be able to go down with it.
Yeah.
It seems like other than Kyle Pitts, who can literally play wide receiver if he wanted to, Pat and Brevin Jordan both seem like the ultimate mismatched tight ends.
Yeah, 100% agree with you.
And Dylan, your number 2 is
Brevin Jordan, Miami tight end.
That's what
I love Pat and I love Brevin Jordan. I think they're both criminally underrated because of how good Kyle Pitts is. Obviously, you hear tight ends in the draft, you think Kyle Pitts. You don't think of anyone else, right? You think of wide receivers, you think of Devontae, you think of Jamar. This is the only position, I think, where you think of one player when you think about the position, right? No other ones. And I think people should look at Brevin Jordan and Pat Femers because they're both phenomenal tight ends who could be great in the league. Yeah. All right. Brevin Jordan, if you watch him, he pops off the screen of how good he is in the red zone. Yeah. All right. He seems bigger than everyone else when he's in the red zone. Mm-hmm. It seems like he is that perfect, almost how Washington was using Logan Thomas last year. Just give it to him in the red zone. Or how Gronk was kind of being used at a point in Tampa. Just throw it to him in the red zone. Yeah, Brevin Jordan is going to catch a lot of those balls in the red zone because especially then he's going to be mismatched on sometimes safeties or middle linebackers.
Yeah, 100% true. I mean, we saw what Gronk did in the Super Bowl.
And you're also seeing, just to say, middle linebackers are getting smaller, right? I mean, think about the old middle linebackers. I mean, you had like the great Chicago Bears middle linebackers, and now you're having linebackers who are some like second-round prospects who are barely they're like 6'2".
A lot of safeties.
Like some safeties are like there's like linebackers who are beefier, but they're like the size of a safety, like 6'2". Brevin Jordan is the amazing mismatch in the red zone.
Now, you said it all. But now we're going to move on to number 1, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't want to talk too much about him because I feel like people already know. So I'm going to do the same thing we did with our wide receivers. We're just going to count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Kyle Pitts.
Man is a legitimate
God.
Monster. God. I want to say. He is 6'6", 245, and this man ran a 4.4 as a tight end.
4.44, yeah.
No, 4.44. My bad. This man.
His vertical is a 33.5 inches.
Yeah. Yep. This guy is a legitimate beast. I really hate to do this. I don't want to talk for you guys, but I feel like we all already know this guy is going top 10 wherever
100%.
Wherever
he goes.
He is going to dominate. Wherever he goes, he will be that guy.
100% agree with you.
Him and Kadarius Toney made Kyle Trask look a first-round quarterback.
Which is so sad because Kyle Trask sucks.
He's like a second-round, third-round quarterback, but I don't think he'd even be top.
He may
go undrafted if it wasn't for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Like he had 43 receptions. He had 770 yards. He averaged 17. He had 12 touchdowns. His longest gain was 71. Pretty good. Just like Jordan, his highest was 76. But Kyle Pitts is literally a monster.
It's like I feel like he's got with tight ends.
I feel like he's going possibly be better than Gronkowski.
Wow.
I can see the potential in Kyle Pitts right now. I can see the potential in him.
My example to Kyle Pitts, my player who I think he compares to is, and I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, is Darren Waller.
I think everyone compares him to Darren Waller.
Yeah.
No, but
actually, I would actually kind of see that now. Actually,
yeah. I mean, Waller's fast as all the heck, and we all know that.
But I mean, Kyle Pitts is faster.
Obviously, so we're could Kyle.
But he is a little shorter. Waller's 6'6".
Yeah, but I think that will do it for today's episode, guys. If you guys want to go for the end of the video,
thank you.
Yeah, Nick says thank you. I don't know why.
Thanks for watching the video.
Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you guys like the way that the last video ended and the first video started, if you guys want to keep seeing that, because I think that's kind of funny. If you guys want to, that'd be great. I'm going to leave everyone's social media, Chasing Rings. I'll even leave Nick's Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Actually, no, because we don't do Snapchat. I'll leave Nick's Tinder account there too. But if you guys want to keep watching our videos, we have a full list of them. I think we're going to just talk about offensive line. If you guys want us to talk about offensive line, leave it down below. If you guys don't want to, we are going to start moving on to the defensive side where it's not that exciting because this is not a defensive draft. But thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone enjoys. And
see ya.
Thanks, Nick.